we'll just discuss what we talked about at that time.
Okay. Turtle Lot trustees?
The window project's moving ahead. We've got the last engineering issues resolved. We're still on track for this spring and summer. We have our year-end meeting, or our investment year-end meeting in January. And then our public meeting in February. That's in February. We'll determine what we're gonna propose for a budget for next year. So, Bill and I will start that process over the next couple of weeks. And that's about it.
You wanna give an update on the Alumni Association also?
Yeah, we'll have to have Tom make sure. If he's not, we'll get one of Sean or I to do it. I do know that they had a fundraising event this past week. And they're doing a lot of work differently than the initial group did, where it's more on investments and scholarships, fundraising and scholarships, etc. So they got the right crew for that, and I know they did an event this past week. So it's going on, and we're getting more active.
All right, student spotlight?
Each month, Turtle Lot Memorial High School Student Spotlight Program recognizes a student who has demonstrated outstanding achievement, character, leadership, attitude, and/or contributions to the school and community. November Student Spotlight honoree is senior Julia Anise. In Julia's nomination, the anonymous nominator states, Julia has been the class president for 2 years. She is always looking to help others. In the past, she has organized fundraisers for her class, such as a car wash and movie night. Julia is a very hard worker and strives to succeed at whatever she is doing. Regarding her hard work, Julia states, almost is not enough, do everything with a passion. Julia actively participates in many organizations inside and outside of school. She is a part of yearbook staff, student council, the student leadership team, prom committee, and soccer. She holds 2 officer positions as the Secretary of Future Business Leaders of America and as president of the class. Outside of TMHS, Julia has worked at the Aquatic Adventure Camp during the summer to try and make kids' summer one to remember. Julia has won several awards throughout her 4 years at TMHS. Some of her most prestigious awards include Integrity Plus, Excellence in Spanish 2, and the George Eastman Young Leaders Scholarship Award. Regarding her plans for the future, Julia states, I plan to go to college for criminal justice. I want to help the future community in any way possible and follow in my dad's footsteps. Her personal message to the school and community is, don't settle for less, you are what you make of yourself. Aspire to be the best you can, and then you can do anything.
If I could just add for one moment, I know that Mr. Angelo isn't here as president of the Alumni Association. Julia will soon be an alumnus, and she's an incredible fundraiser, as evidenced by the lack of funds in my wallet. So I would like to just make sure that you guys get in touch with her as soon as she does graduate for the benefit of fundraising for the Alumni Association or any other fundraising that needs to be done.
Tommy there.
Who you'd call.
Yes.
Thank you.
Can you hear?
Yep.
On speakerphone?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to back up to the Alumni Association? Tell us how much great fundraising event you did. Can you hear me, Tom?
Just barely.
Oh.
Can you do alumni update?
I can. There's actually a meeting tomorrow night. You guys hear me?
Yep.
Hang up the phone, it's louder.
Yes, there's a meeting tomorrow night where we will be talking about fundraising with having and hosting a possible game for the PCS Putnam Mustangs, which are a nationally ranked basketball team. In addition to that, we are considering sending out a flyer in January, which will highlight all of the good things that the Alumni Association has been doing, along with how we raise our money, which also funds college scholarships, and what we've done for the Career Day, as well as all the other events that we host. So that's going to be all put together for January. There should be a newsletter which will go out, which highlights all this, being solicited posted it and sent to all the alumni.
Okay.
Thank you.
Because Tom, you're in London, correct, Tom? Can you hear me?
Oh, you know what? The
Can't talk.
The mic's not on.
mic's not on. Try now.
Tom?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. All right, you're in London?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and it's getting kind of late there, although you're probably still knocking down some of their grapes. I won't say.
I'm having some very strong coffee.
Tea. Is Bill on the line?
I can reach him if we need to,
That's,
because he forgot
I
his phone.
haven't heard Bill dial in.
I don't know that
Yeah.
Bill was gonna call in.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Well, no, now it's.
Because I'm going to move the item election of board officers up so that we can,
Okay.
we can get this over with and that you can, go and enjoy yourself and, or get to bed early for your meetings I'm sure that you have tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
Kathleen,
Every,
do we need Bill?
Huh?
I can put Bill on speaker. I can get him
yeah,
to put
if
him
you
on
wanna
if
get hold of Bill. Every other December per our, board policy BCA, which follows state regulation section 10.218. We have, a board organization, election of officers. We elect a chairperson and a secretary, and in our case, we also elect a vice chairperson, which is what I'm acting as tonight. And we have 30 days after the newly elected board members take their, or elected, take their term, or elected officers take office. So that's why we do it at our first meeting in December. For our policy and per state regulation.
So we need a motion to open nominations.
We need a motion to open the nomination.
So move.
And I am going to,
You need a motion,
second, who seconds that?
Second.
Oh, Val seconded
now you
it.
need nominations, and you go to close nominations.
All right. We haven't nominated anybody yet.
Nope, that's what you're gonna call for.
So I can't close nominations,
No, you have
somebody's
to call-
nominated.
you have to call
All
for
right,
nominations
because
first.
we have some, where's my? Important initiatives underway, and because of the newness of superintendents, I feel it's important to keep continuity in the top officer spot. So I am going to put Bill Bukowski's name into nomination for chairman.
Second.
Do you need any further nominations?
Any further nominations?
I would move that we keep the current slate intact, all three positions.
I'll second
Thank you.
I'll second that.
There's a
Good for you.
Time difference over
Kinda
there.
missed that one, but okay. All right,
Close nominations.
and do I have a motion to close the nomination?
So move.
Okay? Okay, now I'm going to call for a vote. We can call, do we want to vote by ballot, a written vote, or do we just want to go by a verbal vote?
I'm fine with verbal.
Verbal,
To
okay?
be clear, we're voting on all three.
Yeah.
For the second nomination, yes. If you wanna start with that, you can move to do that. As a
Right.
chair, you can do that.
Right, so
Okay, do
we
you
could-
want to just say for the slate, you want to vote for the slate?
You
Sure.
can do that first.
Okay? So do I have a motion to vote for the slate, or just by office?
You do it by a head count vote, if you want.
You mean
Mm-hmm.
a round?
Roll call vote.
A roll call vote? Okay, Jody?
Yes.
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 Yes?
Bill? Yes.
I think we got Tom.
Tom?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Val?
Yes.
Okay, the vote is unanimous. Bill will be chairman, I will be vice chairman, and Donna will be secretary for another 2 years. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
So let it be noted. And
So
you
we're
can
good?
put these into. Okay, and everybody can go back
Yeah, I
about
think
their
we're good.
business and we
You
will
can get on the-
continue
You
on.
can get on the teacups too, and go.
Dumbo.
Coffee.
Don't forget to go on the
Want me
dumbo.
hang
All
up?
right.
All right, see ya.
All right, thank you, everyone. Have a
You
good
too,
night.
bye.
Have a good
Good night,
trip.
Tom.
Good night, Tom.
Bye.
There you go, just gotta hit speaker.
Okay, I'd also like, now we need a motion to move the YES program presentation up so the student can, who is going to be giving this presentation, can, leave.
I'll make that motion.
Yeah, I don't think you need a motion on that, Kathleen. I think you can because
Okay, let's
it's
just
just,
move
it's not an
that up.
action item, so you can move it up if you choose.
Alright, so what did we do?
Principal Poulin, could you introduce the student?
I'd like to introduce Lo-I and Carrie Murray, who's going to introduce the program and speak a little bit about
Hi,
his
everybody.
visit here.
My name is Carrie Fleece Murray. I am a local coordinator with CIEE. That stands for Council on International Educational Exchange. I want to thank everybody for opening your doors for Lo-I. I'm going to just say, I know there's not much time, so I'm going to say a little bit about my side of the coin, and then we're going to hear how this worked for Lo-I on his side. Our Department of State funds grant students to come from different parts of the world that we're having, or we want to build our diplomatic relations with. There are 3 programs. Can you just hand those out? Thank you. And Lo-I represents the YES program from the Muslim countries. And the point, in a nutshell, for this, actually I want to talk to everybody, for this to happen is for us, for Lo-I, for example, obviously he's here, let's use him as an example, to come over to the United States and hopefully have a positive experience. Which does happen, and so when he goes back home, if he's sitting with his family or friends and there's some kind of words about America or this and that, he has actually experienced living in a real family, understanding the culture. So it is a true ripple effect because the students who come over here, the top 3% make it, and so they are vocal, as we know Lo-I is already, so they will stand up in their own country representing. Now being part of the United States, they will also feel like that's a piece of them. And also, part of that coin, let's say, is for ourselves to be involved with a student from different parts of the world that, you know, we would be like, oh, we see the news, we see this, and that's what we think. But really, you know, you met a student who is Muslim or who is, you name it, I'm not gonna start naming everything, but then you know, hey, I'm gonna probably shut that TV off a little bit. Because I actually met a student from that country, and they were wonderful. Not that that one person, as we know, represents everything, but it gives you a good feel. So we actually fund the students as the United States to come on over here, and not you yet, but I guess maybe that is my ending. Actually, I will just say that I grew up in Barville, so and I live in Pomfret right now for the last 10 years, so I would hit Thompson Speedway in my backyard all the time. And I've been doing this for about 5 years, going on 6, and so far, I had it written down, but I can't find the paper. Just in the quiet corner, we had representatives from Indonesia, Qatar, Tunisia, Nigeria, what's the other one? I can't think of them all right now, but a good amount that has come to Killingly and Woodstock in this area. So. Here is Lo-I, and he's going to tell you how it felt for him and how he even got here. Thanks.
Hello everyone, my name is Lo-I Fuad Abusba. I am from Palestine, West Bank, and the city is Hebron, which is like 1 hour away from Jerusalem. I am a part of the YES program, which is Youth Kennedy Lugar Youth Exchange and Study Program, which this program is like that takes students from different parts of the world and bring them to the USA to exchange the ideas, to exchange the culture, to know like about the US culture, and let the Americans also know about their culture. For the YES program, I first knew about it, I just At first, I did not think that there's such a program that give the opportunity for young kids to come. I usually think like it's just for the people who are going to college, that just this kind of grants. So when I saw like a program that give opportunity to young kids to go to the US and exchange their culture, this like caught my interest in, and I said, all right, I'm gonna try to do it. And I saw the application, I applied for it. I applied first last year, but I did not get accepted last year. So I said I'm gonna do it again this year. And this year when I did it again, I got accepted. And this is the first level, is just your application should be accepted. With this the first level. Then you go to the second level, which is you start doing like English tests. We did four English tests. This as a second level. So at that time I was working my English skills. I tried to improve it in just a short time. And we did 4 tests in different cities, like 2 hours away from my home. Went there, did the test, which is like English skills, writing essays, reading. Then after this, the third level is 2 interviews. So you go with a group, and with some teachers from the U.S. consulate in Palestine, and they ask you some questions about yourself, and they say if you are, and like to see if you are good enough to go. And there are thousands of students who apply to this program and end up just 23 students from the whole Palestine just come to this program, and I was lucky to get accepted. I worked very hard to get accepted. Then after this, we started preparing. Like one day I woke up and saw my phone, a lot of calls, then I answered them. They told me, congratulations, you are going to the US, you got accepted. That was one of the best moments in my life. Then we went and we did a lot of vaccination, a lot of physical meetings with doctors to make sure that everything is okay. And in August, they told us that August is the date where we going to travel to the US. It took us about 3 days to get to Washington, D.C. Then from Washington, D.C., we all, the students, each student went to different states. I ended up here in Connecticut and Thompson. And I find it's really good, really great opportunity to come here and try to leave a positive attitude for everyone about myself, about my country, and about my culture. So this is a great opportunity for me to exchange. And thank you so much.
Nicely done, Lawai.
You didn't tell them that you rap. That was you didn't see the talent show. He's a bit of a rapper as well. His English is a little better than.
Do you have any questions?
Your English is very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Very good.
Oh, hi, what was your biggest myth about America that was diffused once you got over here? What was the one thing you thought, now that you're here, is very different than what you've ever been told?
The whole culture is very different.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
What was your favorite thing to do in the area?
Here? The high school.
You like the school?
My
Good answer.
Your principal?
Yeah.
Getting a lot of brag points over
Yep.
there.
Yeah, okay.
You did a great job, thank you.
Thank you.
Carrie, Carrie and I work in the Juvenile Review Board together, and she's a very valuable member of that. My family did this with Catholics and Protestants out of Northern Ireland. My family's from Northern Ireland, and it does make a difference. Makes a huge difference.
Yep, I just got chill. It
Not
does.
only for the kids going back, but for the education we receive here.
Yeah,
So-
true.
And I will mention, because you said that, and actually this makes a lot of sense, and I'm not trying to promote anything, but it's important. CIE also does a lot of outward bound, and I'm saying that because there was a woman, I don't know her exact name, she actually had the same name as, who's the woman in chairs? Shirley, whatever her name is, it's like the same name. Anyway, she worked with a lot of exchange students coming in, and she actually put up some money, almost like $5 million or something, to CIE to actually have scholarships for students, because she finds that there's a lot of kids coming in, which is great, and we love it, but it tends to be more that we don't send our kids anywhere. So I can give more information about that, but I say that because I really think it's extremely important if you're feeling brave enough and courageous to look into something for your own kids in high school. Okay, I don't do that part, but I can tell you who does. so.
Do you have a choice of going to a small school or a large school?
No, it's like pretty much depending to the host family where you.
It's a J1 visa, which is a cultural visa,
Yep.
compared to an F1, which is educational for private schools, and other schools that are certified or whatever. So on J1 culture, you don't have a say. It's, cause it's volunteer host families, and
Okay.
that's the way it is. You know, you're here for the culture, not to pick and choose, you know, what your room looks like. Right?
It sounds like the whole school year?
What's that?
Is he here for the whole school year?
He is,
Fantastic.
full throttle.
We're happy to have him here.
Yeah, he's on my track team.
Is he on your track?
Yeah.
Oh, so I'll be able to see him this weekend. This weekend's your
I
first
think
track
I beat him up the hill.
Very
getting
nice,
in
good
here,
luck.
Practice today.
So Loai, one more question.
Yep.
What'd you think of the snow?
Yeah. We don't usually have much snow like
I could tell you, I said, why do you have a jacket? I didn't think it was gonna be this cold. I don't know. Yeah, get over it.
Wait till
It's like any
Thursday.
typical high school, right, my kids.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, well,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Loai.
you
Thank
so
you
much.
very
Nicely
much.
done.
So,
Very
And we're probably gonna
informative.
leave now, right? We
Yeah.
were-
Okay,
Very, take it.
we'll move on to the enrollment update.
So looking at the enrollment update, this month, we did lose 8 students. 2 of the students, were, hurricane evacuees, from Puerto Rico. Those 2 students have gone back, I'm pleased to say, to reunite with their families, so they have moved back. We did have 6, grade 1 students, withdraw. Usually, during December and January, we see a lot of lease turnovers, and so there is some fluctuation in those months typically. So we'll keep an eye on it, but, other than that, all of the numbers have remained, steady. And so we currently have 1,005 students enrolled in our schools, 424 at Mary R. Fisher, 335 at the middle school, and 246 at the high school.
Alrighty, so administrator reports.
If you don't mind the high school going first, only so I can get Jordan here. She's
Alright.
got a lot of homework to do today.
Okay.
Thank you. She'll be giving the high school report.
Okay, so, November 16th was our first ever Turtle
Could
Walk.
you speak up a little, please?
Yeah. So on November 16th, Turtle Walk's first ever Turtle Walk's Got Talent was hosted by Kate Anderson and a lot of talented tigers for an amazing evening. I'm really excited for the tradition. I was there. It was really fun to watch everybody. And yeah, so if you haven't seen one of those performances next year, I recommend you going because it was really cool. So yeah. November 17th was our peer point training for our student tutors. This was our second year doing something like that, and this year 23 of our students were trained as peer tutors that day, and the training was led by Cindy Willette and Tracy Williams. We reviewed the writing process and strategies for being an effective tutor, and took part in mock tutoring sessions to gain some practice in implementing tutoring strategies. And because this is our second year and we thought we should have one, we designed a tutor contract and developed marketing ideas for the center so that people would actually come in. Because we didn't get too many visitors next year, but we're happy to report that people are coming in and our writing center is being used, so it's exciting. So November 21st, our Powder Puff Pep Rally was organized by the student body, and fun was had by all. The faculty team put up a good show, but had to concede to the overall champs, the senior class of 2018. I did not play, which is why we won. So, yes. December 5th through the 22nd, our Winter Art Showcase reception. The Winter Art Showcase is going to be on, and reception is on December 7th from 2:30 until 4:30 p.m. at the Thompson Public Library. So stop by to see all the wonderful student artwork, which I believe is elementary through high school, so yes. December 7th, our virtual high school second semester course offerings assembly was held for students, showcasing the amazing opportunity the VHS learning platforms offers our Tigers through significantly expanding our program of studies. I believe there's upwards of like 200 classes that they offer, also to the middle middle school, so that's cool. December 8th, our second quarter progress reports went home via email, and currently midterm exam dates remain the same. Yes, so the PSAT and NMSQT results have been released to schools and will be available to students between 12:11 and 12:13. Yes. So we're also promoting Khan Academy, which helps develop a personalized study plan specifically designed to, based off of students' test scores, which from personal experience is actually extremely effective. And our seniors have been busy sending out college applications. There's a list of where we've been applying, which there are quite a lot of them, so I won't list them. But several of our seniors have also received acceptance letters from Anna Maria, Central Connecticut State University, Community College of Rhode Island, Curry College, 2 from New England College, 6 from Nichols College, Quinebaug Valley Community College, University of New England, Western New England University, and Worcester State University. And our total scholarship money awarded thus far is listed below, which is awesome. I just found that out on the website. That's quite a lot of money, so it's great. We like money. So for
Pick one more. Pick one more.
Okay. Well, our CMEA all regional auditions were held on November 18th. 10 students auditioned for the festival at the E.O. Smith High School, and it was a really nice experience. I was there, and 2 of our singers made it in this year, Laura Fournier and Matthew Grauer. And Matthew Grauer also made the cut for band, which has never happened under our current music educators' time serving that position, which is really exciting and pretty impressive. So he will be representing us as a tuba player. So yes, congratulations to those students. So yeah, I guess that's all for me. I've been cut off.
Thank you very much. And if I could just add one last thing about Matthew Grauer, who would be upset with me for saying this, but he was actually took the wrong piece of music that he learned the wrong piece of music for the audition at CMEA's. He grabbed the wrong one, studied the wrong one, got there, and they asked him to do the right one, and he had never seen it before. He sight read it, had never laid eyes on that music before, sight read it, and still made the cut for CMEA.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't going to mention it, but true story.
True story. So I mean, it's really an achievement, not just for him to have made it, but for him to have the skill set that he's learned here to be able to do that. So.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
So, congrats to Matt Grauer. So, good night.
Okay, now we can do the administrative reports.
On behalf of the elementary school and Ms. Beltram, who's not here this evening, I got a couple of highlights here for the elementary school report. The second grade, with the assistance of the fourth grade peer models and Mrs. Rice's middle school kids, collected 500 cans to donate, 500 cans and dry goods to donate to tea on November 21st. So just in time for Thanksgiving. Great job on that. Again, the kudos goes to Lily Peckham and Dylan Bernaski, the elementary students who received the superintendent's awards. Wonderful kids. And that banquet was held last week at 6:30 in the Killenly Auditorium. This is very timely. We have Mrs. Tupai here, but Mrs. Tupai's high school marketing and accounting classes are partnering up with Mrs. Kinsella's and Mrs. Dion's fourth grade classes. The high school students will volunteer during the school year to deliver junior achievement economic curriculum. Junior Achievement is a national organization with a mission in part to foster work readiness, entrepreneurship, and financial literacy skills. So great job to Mrs. Tupai, and great job to Mrs. Kinsella and Mrs. Dion. And then finally, the elementary school holiday concert for December 19th will be at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then again at 1:45 in the afternoon in the district auditorium. Thank you.
From the middle school, I would like to acknowledge and highlight the work that the band and chorus members are doing throughout the holiday season. We had a group of students attend the Quittawag Valley Music Festival, and they were absolutely amazing. I mean, one of the songs just brought tears to your eyes. It was just so well performed. We had an ensemble sing at the Day Kimball Hospital's Tree of Life ceremony, and our holiday concert will be this coming Wednesday at 6 in the district auditorium under the direction of Mr. Leclerc, and that's this coming Wednesday at 6 o'clock. And it's featuring all grades, so 5 through 8. We haven't done that. It used to be 2 separate days, so we're gonna try that.
So it's all on Wednesday, Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, all on Wednesday. Also highlighting, we started the grab and go breakfast this past month. So that's been going fairly well. We do want to try to get some more students having breakfast in the morning. So actually today, we started a delayed breakfast, which is a second breakfast. So we offer at 7:15, but some of the kids just, they don't eat once they come in. But we want to try a second round, so we're starting it at 8:15 as well. So that's called a delayed breakfast. So we're starting that. And the last thing I want to highlight is the work that our kids are doing with the community. So the PTO has been very supportive of our students, and they've been organizing these events. We have half-day hat days, and we collect donations, cash donations, as well as canned goods. So we gave to the veterans, we've given to Teague. This past half-day hat day was actually a half-day hat day pajama day. So kids could wear a hat and pajamas. And we raised $145 for the Connecticut Children's Medical Center.
Nice.
That was nice. Also, I want to highlight the National Junior Honor Society. They fulfilled 65 of 75 tags for the Tags for Tots and Teens for this season. So good job to them. Thank you.
From the curriculum standpoint, if I could just take a moment and introduce Trish Tupai once more. She wants to talk about junior achievement as part of an ongoing collaboration between the high school and the others. So I'll just give you 2 seconds.
Hi. So we've
Don't
been
knock
doing-
over the brownies.
We've been doing junior achievement since 2001 here at the high school. For the most part, we've done the volunteering part. We were recognized last year at the breakfast. This year, we got invited to do a high school program where we are going to start an entrepreneurship program with the marketing students. And we're in the development phase right now where we're going to produce a game that we're going to use as a fundraiser through the district for both elementary, middle, and high school. So we're still trying to get everything lined up so that it will benefit all 3 districts. The students are going to learn how to design a business plan, work in different teams, creative teams, create board of directors. There's stock that's going to be involved with starting the corporation. We're going to be working with Nichols College. Both the accounting department has agreed to help us and the marketing department. So with professors and students coming in and volunteering in the classroom for a second semester. So it's going to be very exciting, and we'll give you more updates as we go forward. And the second community service project that we're looking to work with are with the accounting students and other business students. We've been solicited from the village, from Hartford, to help become IRS certified. So students are being given an opportunity to volunteer for 14 hours to be IRS certified, and then they will work either in Teague or at the Putnam Library. They have to give up a 3 or 4 hour shift every week as a commitment. So they have to go through the training first, and then they'll volunteer from January 28th through April 17th to help prepare taxes for the low and moderate income families from the area. So we have 2 very exciting programs that we hope to get off the ground come January. Thank you.
And Trish does not like to toot her own horn, but I will on her behalf. She speaks about her accounting students and students who have left Turtle Island and graduated, who have gone on to Nichols College, as an example. Nichols College has contacted us and essentially wants to give our students, and working with Trish to have an articulation agreement where students who do take her accounting class and do well will earn the credit at Nichols College for that course. So just one more thing that we're proud to highlight within our curriculum department and at Turtle Island.
I know people who have taken your classes and they love her. That's the feedback I get at work, so.
Okay, Ian, do you wanna,
I said enough.
well, somebody, do you wanna do the
The high school, that's
Okay.
what Jordan spoke to.
Jordan
so I
Jordan
don't-
did enough of that, yeah.
Okay, you did enough, okay.
Except to say that our two superintendent award winners, Joe Boguslavsky and Michaela Godzik.
Okay. Scott?
Just want to do a couple quick updates. One, with just out of district current situation, just provide some historical context. Our out of district numbers, as you know, when we were going through the budget process last year, averaged around like 22 to 25. And last year we got it down to average around 18, now we're down to around 16, 17. But with that being said, there are 2 students that came to us at the start of this year that were already outplaced that you know, we didn't account for. And so we're constantly working on that, we're constantly looking at those numbers and why students are outplaced, are they in the right appropriate spot? And can we actually start to provide that service within district? And so we're constantly working on that. But I just wanted to provide some of that larger picture context there. Also, along with that, the in-district program that we kind of started out of necessity at the beginning of the year has actually been visited by other districts already. And we've only started for a year and a month and a half. The partnership with EastCon has been very successful. People have reached out to EastCon. EastCon said, go to Thompson and visit. You know, it really comes down to, and what we've told people and what people have asked me was, we were fortunate just to have the right people in district to ready to move. And it's about having the right staff. And so it is really kudos to them, the work of that staff and that 3-person team that's in that room every day, because they just ran with it, and they're open to new ideas, and they are really making that work with those students. Our Medicaid reimbursement is improving quickly and significantly. We'll continue to monitor that and process that. You know, I'll start to give some more accurate numbers around the budget season after we have a couple more months on our belt, but we're looking significantly better reimbursement around that. We are rolling out reimbursement for transportation services, which is something Thompson has never done. There was a couple systematic things we had to get in place first, so that'll be starting next week with transportation services. We don't get that reimbursement on a monthly basis like we do others, but that reimbursement will come at a later date. And then also out-district costs is something we've never really gone at for out-district reimbursement. It's a significant reimbursement cost, not for the tuition, but for the OT, PT, speech counseling that we provide, or the students are provided. And so we are more aggressively and assertively, but with still a smile on our face, going out with our partners that we work with to make sure they're filling out the appropriate paperwork to get that reimbursement. And last, our Title IV was kind of initially approved. There was just one signature page that I missed, but it's initially approved. It's for kind of the enrichment and expansion of 3 different columns. We're focusing on the school safety and health, and we're focusing on rolling out a mindfulness curriculum with our students, a restorative justice practices and training, and early childhood, early intervention of teaching self-reflection and mindfulness at the young age, pre-K and K. So we're initially rolling those out. It's a $10,000 entitlement grant. We've been rewarded that. We're gonna have a partnership with Shri Yoga that does mindfulness work and partnerships within the district. We had a large number of staff, surprisingly so, about a dozen that were interested in being trained. And I just sent an email out today to those people to start to schedule interviews and have those people trained, because we have kind of spots for 2. And that'll start the training in like later winter, early spring, so we can get started for next school year.
Yes.
So, last month we did recognize the CAPS Awards winners, but we kind of recognized theirs, so I wanted to do it one more time. So, we had our awards reception, and from the middle school, we had Brandon Martin and Catherine Poirier. So I just wanted to go on the record and acknowledge them tonight as well as my colleagues did. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Okay, I know that Megan and Nob can't be here because of deaths in the family, and I would like Joe Lindley to say a few words about Noveline's father, because he's been very important to the school over the years.
I had the honor of meeting Mr. Beltram a number of years ago. He's a World War II veteran, one of the last surviving ones who saw some combat during that conflict. He was a key participant in the Veterans Awareness Training that we do here at the school. He was always willing to come and help the kids understand what a veteran is and how important they are to our country. He was an incredible gentleman and somebody that I really looked up to, and I'm certain he was an absolutely wonderful dad. He was just a great guy. So he's certainly missed, and I think we all should be mindful that we're losing our World War II veterans at an exponential rate. And if you see a guy with a hat that says WW2 on it, don't be afraid to shake his hand and talk to him. So.
Yeah, he was here for the flag ceremony that we had, and I think that's the last.
That was the last one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that being done, we can move on to action items.
Do you want me to talk a little bit about the
Oh, sorry. We're all mixed up here, yes, please.
This evening, we were supposed to have a presentation by Heather Burns, our technology director, but she's had a family emergency. So we are gonna table that, and we'll have that presentation next month. But for everyone to know, the parent portal is going to allow families, parents and students to look at their grades and assignments in lifetime. They'll download an app on their phone from the Rediker, from the App Store. And I know we've been actually field testing Danielle's son to make sure that that's working, and it's quite amazing.
Helicopter parent, I have to
Yeah.
admit.
And luckily, she's allowing us to field test that, but, you know, the parents can download the app, and then they can access, you know, their child's attendance, their child's grades, their child's assignments. I know Ian and Heather are working with the faculty on making sure that they are up to speed, to make sure now that their grade books are going to go live. So the faculty is having some in-service. We're going to start that at the end of January, the start of the second semester. And next month, Heather will be here to show you what it looks like from the parent side. So we're very excited about all of the work that the tech department did to make this happen using our current student information system. So we say thank you, and there's more to come next month.
Okay, we look forward to seeing that next month. Okay, action item A, minutes. First, we have the regular minutes from our meeting on November 13th. Could I have a motion to accept the minutes?
Motion to accept.
Second. Okay, Donna and Jody. Any discussion? Questions? If not? Okay, then approved?
Yep.
Yes.
Aye.
Okay, all in favor of the minutes?
Yes.
Aye?
Aye.
No? Abstains? Then they pass. Okay. I will entertain a motion to accept the special board meetings of Tuesday, November 28th.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second. Okay, any discussion on these? No? Okay, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any no? And it passes. Yes. Okay. Okay, we've done the election of board officers. Now we move on to the budget, tentative budget calendar. So by the 15th, the next week, they'll all be entered in Munis. On the 3rd of January, we will be holding workshops. Our next meeting would be January 8th. We will receive a draft copy. And I'm hoping that that draft copy will include the worksheets that support the calculations. And if Neil needs the copy or the worksheet listing that I would like, I will I'll send him an email. And the calculations are payroll, insurance, he knows the drill. If he doesn't, he can email me and I will send him an email, okay? Fuel usage, electric usage, Bill, you give him a list of your projects for building maintenance and not supplies, but maintenance projects. That should be in that work.
So what are we doing? We're approving this schedule is all we're doing, right?
Right.
We don't need.
Right.
So
It's like
we
every
would need-
Monday or so, and then, do we know the town meeting? Do we know yet? Oh, the tentative budget is 3-1, okay, or 3-8.
Yes, I
Okay,
think all
that's
we
fine.
need is just a motion to accept this
Right,
as a,
but
yeah.
Right, cause it's,
Yeah, I
it's,
know that, but I'm talking.
this isn't,
I'm extrapolating.
right, we can, obviously we add, and, I mean, this is,
Yeah, well, what we didn't have well, I'll entertain a motion, then we can have some discussion. All right,
alright,
motion
I'll
to
make a
accept.
motion to accept the calendar.
Okay,
Second.
okay. May I have the floor for a minute?
Sure.
Okay. What we didn't have last year were budget subcommittees. When we just went full blown, and I think what we really need to have this year is which we haven't done our subcommittee configurations yet. And I'm sure Bill will send out an email, cause Val needs to be included on some of those committees now. Is we need to have a few more budget subcommittee meetings, not on the stage, off of the stage. I mean, they're open to the public, but they're not,
Full meetings.
everybody meeting and it's going over and getting into some nitty-gritty things, okay. My 2 cents worth, I think we needed a few more of those last year.
So this is, I mean, while it's an official calendar,
Mhm.
it's very flexible, cause
Oh,
you know
yes,
you
of
need to add, you need to, so.
These are all special meetings,
Absolutely, yep.
except for the couple that are regular
Right,
meetings,
right.
yes. So other than that, there's special meetings, you
Mhm.
can always call a few more. But you don't need to call everybody, the budget subcommittee can work on a
Right.
few special items, couple line items, and
Yep.
present those. And we didn't do enough of that, we didn't do any of that last year, and I think we
Yeah.
should have. My 2 cents, anybody have any other discussion?
Are there any Saturdays in here?
Right now, no.
We're just
No.
gonna
It's
add them as we
mon-
need them?
Yeah,
If we think we should, yeah.
Yep.
Apparently, we went out for some feedback and we got that nobody wanted to
Yeah,
do Saturdays.
That's
Well,
what
they
it
didn't. yeah.
appears. Not
Yeah.
only did we have them and they not show up,
Yeah,
but then somebody
Yeah.
did do
With the
some
PTO.
PTO
Yeah.
and they basically said, No.
That's a feedback, actually, with
Yeah.
PTO. Not
Right.
many citizens did call, besides PTO members.
and then, of course, we'll get the feedback, well, why didn't you do Saturday, because that's the only day I could come, and now it's, well, don't do Saturdays, cause that's the only day I have to,
Right.
do my housework, and, so you
So-
can't win.
we tried.
So,
Alright.
okay, do I have a?
Move the motion.
Is everybody?
We're all
You
good?
wanna go for a vote? Everybody's finished discussing? Everybody, okay? All right, I'll call for a vote. Everyone in favor of accepting this calendar, say aye.
Aye.
Nay? Oh, all right, then the calendar, this will be it. As Scott says, it's flexible. We can add more meetings if we need to. Okay. tuition policy. I'll entertain a motion to accept the tuition fee / non-resident admission policy.
Make the motion.
Okay,
I'll second it.
okay, it's open for discussion. Any discussion on this?
Alright, so what we did, what you have in your packet
Mhm.
is the one change we made really, where it's highlighted, it's a little tougher.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if everybody's got the one that's highlighted
Mhm.
yellow,
Yes.
mine's a copy, so it's gray, but
Yeah.
basically, if anybody wants the existing, I have it here. But the highlights are really all we changed. It used to say that we would set, the fee, we decided that it would be reviewed. That way, we don't have to change something every year. We may not need to change it. Establishing it by July 1st allows everybody to know by the time they start school, what the cost would be. The 66%, basically, that worked out to be in line with what area schools have theirs set at. So we would be at a competitive rate. I think this year it works out to right around 12,000, I think it was. And then having the net current, the current being highlighted, again, it allows us to have the information by the summer so that anybody that's coming here knows by September 1st what their, bill is. And so that's really all we had to change to the policy to be able to go out and try to bring kids in district.
Well, but you don't really mean to say current year, do you?
No, that's why we said most recent
Current.
net current.
All right, well, I'm sorry. I
Because,
didn't
yeah,
get that.
because
Yep.
what that does is, that's set right around now is when he'll be getting it.
Yeah,
And so by July, we have it for plenty of time, because this will be for the next year,
And
correct.
every student would have the same rate.
same rate.
Mhm.
Right, so if you come in January, it's prorated, but it's the same as the kid who started in September,
Okay.
instead of your rate
I didn't-
changing.
I'm only reading the highlight and didn't see, I'm reading current, sorry, I apologize.
So, any questions?
Do we currently have anybody paying?
No, this is
for the new,
something new.
the new policy.
Yeah, where we wanna try to go up, and
Bring kids in.
Yep. So,
And rather than set a fixed rate that you had to change every single year.
exactly,
Yeah.
this may have to get changed, we don't know, extenuating circumstances, but this way, we wouldn't have to change anything.
Right.
So we review it, and if there's something crazy that happened, we could change it, but we don't have to with this wording. All right.
Move the vote.
Okay, then I will call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Abstain, any abstentions? No? Okay, and it shall be policy. And we can update the, yep, website for that. Okay, and we have Then we have a retirement from Miss Beverly Hool,
I would move to accept with regret and well wishes.
okay?
Second. Oh, go ahead.
And she's our payroll secretary. And, okay, then all in favor of accepting with regret and well wishes the retirement of Ms. Beverly Hool? Say aye?
Aye.
No? Can't not. No, you can't retire, you must work until you're 70. And collect your full social security.
Yeah, it's a formality.
Okay, and then also we have a resignation by Brian Jennings, who is a elementary phys ed teacher.
I don't have that.
It
It came in
came
later than the packet.
in the
Oh,
revised,
it's okay,
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Everything else.
Okay, so do I have a motion
Yeah,
to?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Second, okay, all in favor of accepting the resignation?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I don't know anything about this, so.
Yeah.
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 He's resigning to move on to a different career path, and we have already had a screening team with some wonderful candidates. I had the good pleasure of interviewing the finalists this past week, and we'll be making a determination tomorrow as to who we appoint to that position. That teacher will start after the first of the year.
Great, so. All right, oh, correspondence. We do have a correspondence on
Well, we had that letter that Mike read.
that. Oh, I had correspondence, where is it? Lost it. It's in the packet.
Mike's letter's in the packet.
Yeah.
That was already read into the.
Yeah, that was read into the
Yeah,
minutes
that's
already.
That's all.
Yeah.
All right, no, that was gonna do under old business, it's under correspondence, the branding committee.
Oh, yes.
What's
What do I
that?
do with
What is that?
Give it to you?
You do have that.
A lot.
I don't know. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, well.
It's the town
Around here somewhere. Yeah, it seems my head wouldn't attach to his shoulders, it was only down the street.
different areas.
No.
Okay.
Well, the upshot of it is that Mary Ann Shinati sent a email to multiple town organizations asking for a representative from each of the boards and commissions to sit on the town's branding committee. She's asked for a representative from the Board of Education to sit on the town's branding committee. And,
I nominate Tom.
huh?
I nominate Tom.
No. No. Anyway, so I talked to, Bill, and, I will be representing the Board of Education on the branding committee. And maybe we'll find that email, where it went to.
It was here.
It was here, we had it, we don't know. Anyway, any citizens' comments? Okay, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Go back.
Okay, then we are adjourned
Go Pats.
at